Hello and welcome to another PlanetDestiny exotic weapon review. Today we're going to be taking another look at Invective. This weapon can only be obtained after completing the A Dubious Task exotic bounty. A Dubious Task is awarded randomly from completing any bounty. Once you receive it, talk to Ikora Ray to get the ball rolling. The first task she gives you is to complete 5 strikes without dying. These do not have to be done consecutively. If you die in one, it will not reset your progress as a whole. I suggest just doing the easiest strike you're comfortable with. Once you complete those strikes, return to Ikora for your next task. To complete this next section in PvP, you must get a 25 kill death spread in the Crucible. This is actually much easier than it seems. You don't need to go on a 25 kill streak. All you need to do is maintain at least a 1.0 KDR across all your matches. So my advice is just to go into a match with some friends and just play really defensively. Have them call out incomings to you and any other enemy movements. If you're familiar with completing the Thorn bounty, then this one should honestly just be a walk in the park. If you're doing it solo, then again, just play really defensive. Hang back away from the capture points and control and take out people who try to cap them. Ideally, as long as you can kill about 1 to 2 people per life, you'll get it in about 5 or 6 games. Once you complete that and return to Ikora Ray, she'll give you the task of completing a weekly heroic or nightfall strike. With the 1.1.1 patch, this is honestly really easy now. Just queue up for the weekly heroic strike and you should be done with it in no time flat. It can be done on any difficulty level as well, so choose the lowest difficulty for the weekly strike if you want to have an even easier time. Once you do that, return to Ikora to get the uncharged version of Invective. The next and final step will require 12,500 Glimmer. Go to the gunsmith and buy 50 special weapon ammo synths. Be sure they are the special weapon ammo synths. Return to Ikora one last time and then you'll get the shotgun Invective. Now let's get into the actual review of the weapon. Invective has seen its role shift since it was introduced months ago. It started out pretty weak due to its really abysmally low reload speed, but the exotic patch buffed that and the shotgun PvE change has made this an incredibly formidable weapon for pretty much all occasions. It has a few strengths that immediately stand out. Its base rate of fire of 30 is well above average for shotgun variants, only 5 below Secret Handshake and a whopping 25 over Fellwinter's Lie. Keep in mind though, this does not factor in Invective's full auto, which boosts the stat to even higher levels. Its base stability is also the main draw. 41 is practically best in class, beating out nearly all popular alternatives, including Found Verdict and 2 to the Morgue. To sweeten the deal further, its base range is also staggeringly high, even topping Fellwinter's Lie, which is pretty much widely considered to be the king of range. To round out the stat profile, Invective's reload speed of 36 ensures you'll be chambering rounds fast enough to get back into the action as soon as possible. When we consider the perks, it's really easy to actually see what makes Invective an exotic. Without consuming a perk slot, it already possesses the innate ability to fire in full auto, which allows it to pump out deadly DPS, taking advantage of its already high rate of fire. It also has 2 reasonable first row choices with Accurized Ballistics and Field Choke. While both increase range and impact, Field Choke can be used for a tad more range at the cost of a slight penalty to stability. We recommend either, depending on your needs, as the recoil is pretty easy to manage, and Linear Compensator just doesn't bring enough to the table considering the recoil for shotguns is pretty easy to predict. It'll just go up. Its first distinct perk, Final Round, provides a strong kick to the last shot in the clip, which actually pairs well with Invective's low magazine size of 4. It possesses a couple useful third row perk options like Fitted Stock and Send It. The former maximizes its stability potential, while the latter really gives it that top class range, both crucial to using this weapon in both PvP and PvE alike. The recoil is honestly really easy to manage, so going for more range is going to be the best bet on this weapon. Finally, we're left with Invective's namesake perk. The semi-unique perk allows Invective to add a full clip of 4 rounds to its reserve ammo every 30 seconds. Though this is possibly a little slow for those who prefer to be using Invective as an effective primary weapon, it's an undeniable boon in situations which ammo is scarce. Think about the Juggler perk for Nightfall. It won't solve ammo issues in the Crucible though, but it's handy to have if you choose to bring it out for those close encounters in PvE. Still though, Invective is not without its downsides. The main thing to address is the low base impact of 42, since it's on the lower end of all these top tier shotguns. Found Verdict, Two to the Morgue, Judgment, and the mighty Fellwinter's Lie all look down on Invective in that regard. Having a high impact is crucial to taking advantage of the high range of it, and Invective would love to have a little bit more bang for its buck. Fortunately, Invective has one of the most balanced stat profiles of all shotguns, so it can suffer all these minor little weaknesses without sacrificing its great efficiency. And while Invective's perks are solid, there are a couple of odd ones whose usefulness is kind of in question. Quick Draw is a nice idea and could be a slight leg up in the Crucible in minimizing the weapon swap times, but you really need to go for more range to make this weapon even competitive. As previously mentioned, Invective also regenerates ammo slow enough for it to be occasionally frustrating, but this is a minor nitpick on a perk that is otherwise just a great feature to round off the weapon. Finally, Invective does also lack Shot Package or Rangefinder. These two perks are arguably the most crucial for achieving PvP dominance, and even allow PvE users to maintain distance from bosses and other dangerous melee foes while still being able to pull off reliable critical hits. Cosmetic-wise, Invective is just another example of an exotic that's done right. It's dark and imposing with all these subtle orange accents, and a pleasing sight that leaves plenty of visibility when aiming down sights. There are no unnecessarily frilly accents or cumbersome spikes, just sleek, compact power. The sound is also the most addicting thing for me. Even though I don't like really using this weapon that much, I'll still bring it out from time to time and kill dozens of things to hear that slow chunking noise with each shot. So in conclusion, this weapon has really waned and waxed with Destiny's tide. It's gone from being overpowered to underappreciated and everywhere in between. Right now it sits as a fantastic option for those who want an exotic secondary weapon and are willing to put in some time learning all these little quirks about it. In PvE, the shotgun buff has actually made this weapon worth using, as its range, stability, rate of fire, and ammo regen are all wonderful qualities to have out in the field. In PvP, it's still a solid option, but with the recent introduction of Fellwinter's Lie and some of the other vendor weapons with Shot Package, it's honestly just outclassed. It still has all the tools to be a good weapon, but since it does take up that exotic slot, you're better off using one of the other more powerful exotic weapons in its place. The combination of very solid base stats, full auto, and regenerating ammo is enough for it to claim its exotic status in both Crucible and PvE. Though it's not perfect, and while it's always difficult to choose one exotic over the other, Invective will reward you for making the sacrifice. I hope you guys enjoyed this review. This has been Patrick Casey with Planet Destiny, your guide to the Destiny universe.